What's up, everybody? My name is Matt Modi. I'm a content producer and betting analyst for OddsJam. And for this video, I'm going to talk to you about how you can make money, specifically betting on hockey or betting on the NHL. So the NHL season is coming to an end with the playoffs starting. So this is an incredibly important time for NHL bettors. So I figured it made sense for me to come up with this informational video about how you can use OddsJam to make money betting on hockey, betting on the NHL. Couple things to note before I get started. In general, this is my homepage using OddsJam. If you want to learn how to use OddsJam to make money, fill out the form you see in the description of the video. There's a form that you need to fill out, and when you do, we'll teach you how you can use OddsJam, how to make $2,500 a month using OddsJam. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme or a scam or anything like that. It's just using the tools provided by OddsJam on the OddsJam website to profit betting on sports. So for me, I'm up over 11 grand overall. I have yet to have a down month using OddsJam, as you can see my profit over time. So make sure to fill out that form and you can get on a call, private one-on-one tutorial teaching you how you can be profitable using OddsJam. Couple other things before I get started. Number one, I would appreciate if you could like and comment on the video. It's generally just good to know what you guys think. And then lastly, of course, if you could subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. We have a ton of content on the OddsJam YouTube channel. So if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, please click that plus button. Like I said, there's a ton of content we have on the channel, whether it's hockey playoffs, hockey best bets, hockey analysis, MLB best bets and analysis, NBA best bets and analysis. We also have a ton of informational videos, kind of like this one. Not best bets specific, but more helping yourself as a sports bettor become a more profitable sports bettor. So you would do yourself a huge service if you subscribed to the OddsJam YouTube channel. And then, of course, we have a ton of content betting education on the website as well. So resources, betting education. I can link this article in the description of the video, so make sure to check that out. And you just see a bunch of different articles about different betting strategies, betting concepts, stuff like that. So another way you can invest in your betting education, just go ahead and click this video or click the link in the description. And then if you want to learn hockey specifically, I have that link as well. So just a bunch of all our hockey articles, hockey stuff is in that article. So make sure to click the links, subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel, all that good stuff. Just help yourself as the sports bettor. So the first way to make money betting on the NHL that I want to talk about are betting on game props, and specifically betting on positive expected value game props. So what I have on the screen here is the OddsJam Positive Expected Value page. I have it filtered specifically for only hockey bets. That's why you see so little on here. Of course, we have every sport. So if you want to bet on any of them, you have them on the OddsJam page. I just wanted to filter it specifically for hockey so I can show you how I use this page to bet on hockey and make money doing so. So the OddsJam Positive Expected Value page, if you're not currently a subscribed member, it's no problem. If you don't want to fill out that form in the description, not quite ready for the commitment, I understand. What I would recommend doing is just sign up for a free trial. You see a link in the description to do that as well. If you sign up for a free trial and you use the best practices that I talk about in this video, that I talk about in other videos, hopefully in that 7-day free trial, which again, free means doesn't cost any money, you'll profit. You'll see your total profit start to rise in the week you used OddsJam. Then we can get you a deal signed up for the year and all that good stuff. But for now, I'd at least recommend getting the free trial so you can play along with the video and what I've been doing and what I'm doing and start doing it yourself. So like I mentioned, this is the OddsJam Positive Expected Value page. And the way the OddsJam Positive EV page works is OddsJam pulls a line from the sharpest sportsbook in the world. So this is the OddsJam Perfect line. We deem it to be the most accurate line, the best pricing for a market, the most accurate representation of what the line should be. Everything like that, we believe the OddsJam Perfect line is basically the sharpest line in the world. And it provides situations in which you are getting more favorable odds on another sports book. But the way this whole situation with sportsbooks pricing odds works is every single sportsbook, so DraftKings, FanDuel, Caesars, MGM, all of them are going to have a different method for how they price lines. And A, they're not always going to be updating their lines at the same time. And B, not every single sportsbook is always going to have the best lines. So if we can find situations in which the OddsJam Perfect Line prices something and you're getting more favorable odds on a different book, that is called a positive expected value bet. So that's kind of how that works, right? Anywhere in which you are getting more favorable odds on another sportsbook is going to have positive EV associated with it. Obviously, there's only 2 on the page here, but on a normal day when I don't have sports filtered out, there's going to be a ton of plays here. So for hockey specifically, there's 2 categories in which I wanted to talk about using the OddsJam Positive EV page. And the first one, which I'm going to talk about now, are game props. So these aren't player props. This is going to be spread, totals, team total, puck line betting, not spread, puck line betting, money line, anything like that is going to be what I'm talking about right now. Again, like a game prop. So the first question people always ask okay, so I see 5 different hockey bets on the screen here. Does that mean I should place all 5? And the answer to that is no, you should not. There's going to be 3 categories in which you should be placing a bet and how much money you should be putting on that bet. And it's all going to be based on the market width. So market width, to talk about that for a second, is essentially a way for the OddsJam Perfect Line to signify confidence in a line. The lower number, the better. The higher number, the worse. And the way you calculate it, it's very easy. So you see here, minus 158, plus 138. So for a plus and a minus like this, you just subtract the 2 numbers. So you just look at both sides of the OddsJam line and you subtract the 2 numbers. So 158 minus 138 equals 20. So the market width for this bet would be 20 cents. For this next one, 139 minus 121 equals 18. So the market width for this one would be 18 cents. And like I said, there are 3 categories. So the first one is the highest. I generally would recommend not betting this category at all, or if you're gonna bet it, I would recommend only putting up to 1% of your bankroll. So you should never be betting more than 5% of your bankroll on any given bet. But for a market with in this third category, as wide as it is, you should only put up to 1% or lower, essentially. And the category is going to be anything 25 cents, 26 cents or above. So anything above 25 cents. So these 2 are not within that third category. So anything you see, like I said, 26 and above, if you do want to bet it, I would only bet up to 1% of your bankroll on it. So for people that have $1,000 bankroll, the easiest way to just use the round numbers, I'd say that's only probably a $10 bet, right? Nothing more than that. So that's the first category, right? 26 cents and above. The next category is between 16 cents and 25 cents. And for those, I would recommend betting up to 3% of your bankroll on. So for a $1,000 bankroll, you should put $30 in these 2 bets here. Let's see if any more show up. So one actually went away. So this bet here fits within that second category. So this, if someone asked me, hey Matt, should I take this bet? I would say, yeah, I think this is a good bet. So yeah, this one's a good bet. It's between 16 and 25 cents. So I would recommend, like I said, putting 3% of your bankroll on this one. And then lastly, the third tier, which I would recommend putting up to 5% of your bankroll on. So again, a $60 bet or $50 bet if you have a $1,000 bankroll, is anything that is 15 cents or below. So unfortunately, I don't have an example of anything 15 cents or below, but those I like to call load city bets. I like to call mixed slams. I like to call a lock of the day, load it, whatever you want to call it. Anything 15 cents or below is a really valuable bet. So even if the positive EV percent isn't as high, if it's 15 cents or below, like I said, I would recommend putting up to 5% of your bankroll on it. So that's how market width works, right? Anything, the 3 categories, 26 and above, 1%, between 16 and 25, 3%, and anything 15 or below, 5% of your bankroll. The next thing to understand is that The OddsJam Perfect line provides opportunities in which you are getting better odds with the VIG removed. So that's one thing that's important to understand, is that any opportunity on this page is going to have positive expected value with the VIG removed. So the VIG, if you're unfamiliar with what that term, it's also known as VIG or juice. The real term of it is called vigorish. The way it works is sportsbooks, they charge juice or VIG to the odds. So what they don't do, sportsbooks like DraftKings or FanDuel, they don't charge a transaction fee for actually placing a bet on their sportsbook. Instead, what they do is they price up the odds a little bit and ensure that they're profitable no matter what. So bettors can bet both sides of a market, and the sportsbook is going to make money based on how much they juice up the odds. The normal example of this, if we go to the no VIG fair odds calculator, which is how you can remove the VIG, are going to be minus 110 on each way. So a standard spread bet or total bet is going to be minus 110 each way. So the way this works is a normal spread or total is going to be, like I said, priced at minus 110 each way. So let's pretend this is the over. If I bet $100 on the over, my risk is $100, but my profit is only going to be $90. So let's say someone else bets $100 on the under. Same thing. Their risk is going to be $100 and their profit is only going to be $90. So no matter what, if two bettors bet $100 on each side of a bet with minus 110 odds, the sportsbook is going to profit $10. So multiply that $10 by hundreds of thousands of bets for hundreds of millions of dollars, and you see why they make so much money. So what it is important to do, and let me just make sure there are no new plays here, is remove the VIG and find out what the true line of a bet is. So that's essentially what I did here. So anything with minus 110 each way, it's going to be an even money bet. It's going to be plus 100 for both sides, essentially 50-50. And for a play that isn't minus 110 each way, what you need to do is just enter both sides of the OddsJam Perfect line, and you can find out what the true line for each bet is. So plus 138, minus 158. Let's enter those both in. Plus 138, minus 158 puts the true line of this market at roughly plus or minus 145. So for the over, anything that has basically plus 146 or higher odds is going to be positive expected value. And for the under, essentially anything with minus 144 odds or lower is going to be positive expected value. So in this case, we are betting the over, and we are betting it at plus 165. So that is above 145, which makes it a positive expected value bet, which is why it shows up here, positive expected value of about 7.83%. And this percent, basically, the greater the distance between the OddsJam Perfect line and the odds that you're betting it on is going to be, the higher the percent. It doesn't mean that you should put more money on it. Like I said, we need to look at market width, but if it's within market width and it's positive EV of any percent, it's going to be a good bet. So I actually have DraftKings up here, and this was a $60 bet for me because my bankroll is $2,000 and it is between the 20 cents. So let's go ahead and lock this one in. It's New Jersey Devils team total over 3.5, which we see down here, plus 165, $60 bet because it's 3% of my bankroll. Place bet, and I'm good to go. So that is how you find profitable game prop opportunities to bet on the NHL. You go to the OddsJam Positive EV page. So again, sign up for a free trial if you're not already using the page. Look at the market width, make sure that it's within range and what range it is within so you know how much to put on it. And then go ahead, lock that bet in exactly like I did. So now that I've placed the bet, what I need to do is add it to my bet tracker. So like I said, I put $60 on it, as you can see here. And the way you add it to the bet tracker, you just click this plus button, make sure that you're putting it on the right side, which I bet it on DraftKings. I bet the over $60, click save, and now it's added. So to highlight on this for a little bit, OddsJam offers a bet tracker for completely free. So you don't need to be on a paid subscription. You don't need to put down a credit card or anything like that, and you can get access to the OddsJam bet tracker. It does exactly what it sounds like, right? It tracks all your bets for you. So all this information you see here, the total profit over time by sportsbook, by bet type, that all comes from the OddsJam bet tracker. So even if you don't want to sign up for a 7-day free trial, you're too scared to, that's fine. If you don't want to do it yet, I would at least recommend tracking your bets through the OddsJam bet tracker. Like I said, it's completely free. And as a sports bettor, it's incredibly important to understand whether you're profitable or not. If you are, see where you're profitable, what you could be doing better. If you're not, see why you're not profitable, and again, what you can be doing better. And I love the bet tracker because it tells you whether your bet is green or red in terms of beating the closing line or not. So the closing line is this column that says CLV right here. It's essentially just the no vig fair odds that we just calculated, right? You just put in both sides of the OddsJam perfect line and it gives you the CLV. Green doesn't necessarily mean your bet's going to win. Red doesn't necessarily mean it's going to lose. But if you can maximize however many bets that you're beating the closing line, that is how you can be profitable. So for me, 73% is pretty good. The way I'm able to get it so high is just the exact details that I just told you. Market with plus EV, all that good stuff. Anything above 50-50, you'll be profitable. But like I said, the higher, the better. I also love it because all these pending bets you see here, like this hockey bet that I just placed, it's going to auto grade it for me. So it's going to mark it as won or lost. I won't need to go in and manually update anything, which is very nice. So, for me, I'm taking a bunch of positive EV bets as the day goes on, and it's just nice that I don't have to manually mark them as won or lost. So that's the OddsJam bet tracker. Again, I'd recommend signing up at least for the bet tracker, making an account using the OddsJam bet tracker. It doesn't cost any money, and it's just incredibly helpful for you to track your bets and understand whether you're being profitable or not. All right, so the next one I want to talk about are using the OddsJam Positive EV page to find player props to bet. So player props are a little bit different than game props, mostly because the variance is higher, so the strategy is a little bit different. You still obviously bet positive EV, and you still look at the market width, but instead of using the 3 tiers, anything below 40 cents is going to be fair game for a player prop within reason, and I'll explain that later. The first thing I do when I'm looking to bet a player prop is I find if the bet is below 40 cents in market width or not. So again, the logic is the same in terms of calculating it. Plus and a minus, you just subtract the two numbers. So this one's what? 52. This one is going to be too wide of a market. I won't even look at this one. This next one is what? 51 or 49. Again, I wouldn't even consider betting this one. And here we go. Oh, that's a team total. That's a game prop. I actually just bet that one. But here's one that is within range. So for plus and a minus, we know that we subtract them. For two minuses, you just add the last two numbers together. So 26 plus 6 equals 32. So this one would have 32 cents in market width. Here's another one that I would consider betting. Plus 110 to minus 148. Again, it's a plus and a minus, so you just subtract them. This one has 38 cents in market width, which makes it within range. But just because a play is within range of market width, it doesn't make it a good bet to make. There's still one extra layer of detail that we need to look at. And the example that I gave, or that I like for this one, is to click into the market. So you can actually click a play on the OddsJam Positive EV page and it'll load the market for you. So I have two ones here. One is an example of a good bet to place. One is an example of a bad bet to place. So let's start with the bad first. So the positive EV play here is Brad Marchand over 0.5 assists. So on first thought, you would think, oh, this is a good play. It's positive expected value, and it's only within 38 cents of market width. But what I like to do for player props is compare the line you're betting it on to the rest of the sports books. As we can see here, every book is going to have this play closer to what I'm betting it on and farther away from the OddsJam perfect line. So for me, this actually means this bet might be an example of where the OddsJam perfect line might not be the sharpest sportsbook in the world in this scenario. It might be mispricing a line. So what I like to look for are discrepancies between sportsbooks. So let's pretend every other book, aside from DraftKings, had this at plus 110. That would be a good bet to make, but they don't. They're all priced it closer to DraftKings. So this bet I'm going to avoid. But here's one that I think is a really good bet that I won't avoid. And this play is on Elias Lindholm to go under 0.5 points. So as we can see, The OddsJam Perfect line prices it at plus 119. The other side of it is priced at minus 159. So that's 40 cents. So that is within range. And look, every other book aside from Bet Rivers prices it closer to the OddsJam Perfect line. FanDuel has it at plus 118. Caesars has it at plus 120. BetMGM has it at plus 115. So this is a very, very valuable bet to make. So this is a bet that I would say 100% I would recommend betting. So the next order of business when you find a player prop that's worthy of betting is figuring out exactly how much to bet on it. So in this scenario, we're not going to have the flat 1%, 3%, 5% fee like I did with the game props based on the market width. Instead, I like to use the OddsJam calculator. So this calculator, if you click it here, it tells you exactly how much to bet on this market. As you can see, the number is pretty significantly lower. This is essentially less than 1% of my bankroll that I should bet on this one. And the way this calculator works is it takes your bankroll, it takes the odds that you're betting it on, and it takes the win percentage. So the win percentage is just based on the no vig odds. So as you see, whenever we type in odds, let's just type in minus 110 on each way. It gives the no vig percentage. This is essentially the sportsbook's percent chance of this bet hitting. So the OddsJam Perfect line gives this bet only a 42% chance of hitting. So for a player prop, I like to use this calculator method to tell me exactly how much to bet as opposed to doing a flat fee, because player props are a little bit more dangerous in terms of how wide the variants are. So for every single play, I wouldn't recommend the flat rate as I would the market width. So this one is only going to be a $20 bet, but I really like it. I think it's a really good bet, so I'm going to still go ahead and place it. All right, and as you can see, I have the bet up here now on Bet Rivers. It was Elias Lindholm under 0.5 points plus 143 on Bet Rivers. I ended up rounding this up to $20. So now place bet, and I'm good to go. Bet has been placed. So I'll go ahead and add this to my bet tracker. Again, you click the plus button, make sure to find the bet that you are placing it on, put in the amount that you risked, click save, and now it shows up on my screen. So general advice when it can be overwhelming seeing this many bets on the screen. So what I like to do is just first narrow it down, like I said, by market widths. So you can immediately skip a lot of these bets because of the market width. Once I find a bet I like, I'll click into it. I'll do the analysis here. If it's a good bet, then I'll just go to the calculator, tell me how much to bet it on. I'll place that bet and we're good to go. So, and that's how you can use OddsJam to make thousands of dollars betting on the NHL. So for game props, we looked at market width, bet based on the 3 categories. For player props, we look at market width. We look at how other books are pricing it. Then we just look at the calculator to tell us how much to bet it, and we place that bet. So that's all I got for you. That's all my advice for this one. If you liked the video, again, would appreciate if you actually clicked the like button. If you commented as well and let me know your feedback, would appreciate. Of course, subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. That would be incredibly beneficial for you as a sports bettor. If you want to read our betting education articles, just check out the links in the description, hockey specific or just betting specific. And then, of course, click the link, fill out the form in the description, and you can get a private one-on-one tutorial on how to profit $2,500 a month betting using OddsJam. And that's all I got for you. So thanks for watching and have a good one.